Good morning. So, I felt kind of an urgency to leave a message because um, I've just been sitting in bed and randomly watching YouTube, which I don't know, I kind of don't recommend, but I felt guided. Well, I feel currently guided because of what I watched, and then maybe I was supposed to watch that stuff because um, the first thing that I watched was, well, I watched a couple other things about Walmart shutting down, a couple things about uh people getting killed by repeat offenders, and people not going to jail for that. And um I randomly clicked on this thing about a parent, sorry, a parent who had a daughter that detransitioned, um, and she lives in California, and this daughter had basically, for a couple of years, basically, they first they were identifying as pansexual, then she was identifying as, I think, lesbian, and then she settled on trans. And I think it started when she was 11, and now she's 16, and the mother was able to basically get her out. And there's a lot of really good things that she said in the interview, um, about how um, she was able to pull her daughter out of that, and a lot of good spiritual parallels, and just her being the bad parent for a while. And the main thing, the number one thing she said was take away the phone. Because at that point, she was in a school. She said when she first heard her daughter talking about it with her group of friends out in the yard, and they were talking about, which gender they wanted to be, because the school had done um, this whole unit on gender. And so, everybody in the school had been exposed to it. And what she gleaned from the conversation was that, being a white girl was boring, just a basic white girl who just was attracted to men was just kind of a boring thing to be. And you could, you should decide what kind of thing you want to be. And so from that, she went to the school. She found out who was teaching the curriculum. She, you know, questioned the curriculum. She was basically kind of the only parent that was sort of dumbfounded by all of these ideas, and blah blah blah. It was a whole journey. And now she's like an advocate, and she goes to the, she's talking about the bills that are getting passed and how California is basically insane. And the interviewer was sort of like, so what is the landscape like? Because, as California goes, the whole nation goes, basically. Which I guess, I don't know if that's true or not. I can certainly see, maybe if you looked at statistics, and I can see that that would be ground zero for what they're experimenting on, seeing what works or whatever. So she was like, yeah, California's absolutely crazy. And, they're demonizing the parents and all of this stuff. And she was like, yeah, I took the phone away because the daughter had created these sort of shadow accounts of trans identities. Like, it just got really insane. And, eventually they found out about it. And she was just like, yeah, it's just the kids are technologically advanced. They know what to do and know how to get around the guard things. And um, so it was really great listening to her talk about how she sort of fought this fight, and had her child hate her for a while. And she was like, you have to get through that period. That I had many days where she told me she hated me, and just the vitriol and all this stuff. But now she tells me she loves me every day, and it was worth all that. And so there's a lot of really deep things going on. And even the way that she described how, when she was going through this period, how everything in her room became very dark and emo. And um, she even used the term demonic. I mean, and I don't know if she was a liberal, but she did say she was a Democrat. And she was like, it just, everything in her room just got demonic, and it just got really, she just watched her personality change. And I think just from watching other things too before this video, like uh, a couple of things in a row, knowing that, the devil is just trying to attach demons to you. And I had watched another pastor who's kind of popular for doing deliverance and stuff, and saying a lot of these transgender uh, this transgender stuff is coming through pornography, and it's getting attached to people through that medium. And the mom brought that up too. That she was like, my daughter is in, like, basically like, um, I mean, when she said she's heard story after story, and they're literally all the same. It's like this basic transgender teenage package of school, the influences and exposure to pornography and this and that, and just go down the list. And she's like, and why are the medical community doesn't seem to be able to identify this, but all of us can, all this stuff. It wasn't really enraging for me, like at the moment right now, because I'm not enraged, because I'm literally just detached. Like, I'm not here anymore. So I'm just like, it's time to leave. Like, because look, like, this is not, it's not sustainable, and also not even sustainable, but it's like, I personally am so tired of seeing the devil's scheme escalate beyond what you thought it was going to be. Because I remember being basically in college is when, I had a computer in my dorm, and everyone was bringing computers to their dorm. And it was like, there wasn't no laptop. It was a desktop computer, and it was fancy. And, and just seeing the little tiny emergence of pornography on the computer, where it was just like, you had to type in the website, you had to know the website. It was just very primitive. But I just remember just getting a literal chill, and just like not really being able to contemplate the repercussions of this. And was just like, well, this is going to destroy the world. Like, if this is able to happen, like, this is going to destroy people. Like, this is just going to decimate lives. Like, and it really just made me fearful for years after that. So to see it 20 years later, in after 10 years, 12 years, the psychologists were saying, okay, this is changing the brain chemistry of the teenagers are getting hold of it, changing the brain chemistry. And you think that's just going to be your world. Like, oh, it's just, oh, now it's altering the brain chemistry. And oh, now what are we going to do? And, see, I told you this was a bad idea. I don't know why no one is doing more about it. And now it's a full 20 years. Oh, now your kids are trans. You thought it was just going to be, sorry. Um, so, you thought it was just going to be like the world you grew up in. where it was just, you know, whatever you thought was, whatever was just your kids being exposed to, or kids being exposed to explicit stuff of things they were going to do later. You thought it was just going to be like, oh, well, they're kids. They're going to find out about all of this stuff and sexuality. They're going to find out about it later. And then they're going to get married and have a family. That's the world you grew up in. You just had your little pornography in magazines under your bed. And then maybe your kid found it. Okay. That was it was always intended to go further than that. It's trying to draw you, it's drawing all of humanity inward to worse and worse things. So you're like, back in my day, no, now your kid is trans. Now your kid is seeing it when they're 8, and they're not watching two people have sex. They're watching the weirdest stuff that you can't even imagine. And now they're trans because it's like, and also the demon, it's not just, oh, they're being exposed to content. No, the demons are in the content, and they're just boop, because you're opening your eyes like this and you're letting it come in, because all that spiritual stuff is not real. Okay. Sorry. Again, when you have 3 kids, it's always like a comedy routine. Like one comes in, then the second one comes in, then the third one is like, well, you guys get out. Always comedy routine. Anyways, so yeah, so he's made it to where there's a little glowing box or a little tiny glowing square in everyone's house. And yeah, your husband is addicted to porn. That's the past. Your husband being addicted to porn for 20 years, whatever. Okay, that was the 4th one. I don't know where the 4th one came. Didn't I have 3? I don't remember now. Somebody must have came in twice. Anyways, yeah, your husband being addicted to porn is like 2010. This is, now your kids are watching, I don't know, 2 cats and a girl. I don't even know. I don't know. And now they're like, oh, I'm a cat person and I'm trans because the demon is in there. They have no, they don't have any understanding of that at all. So they are just opening themselves up to something. And the demon comes in and is like, you're a cat person. Meow, meow, meow. Live out my cat dream. I'm a disembodied spirit. And they're like, as I was thinking about it, it was like, oh, okay, so the kid now you got a kid like in the upside down, basically. Oh my gosh.
Why don't you go to your office or something?
Okay, well, the devil doesn't want this video made. I don't know. Whatever. I don't care. So, yeah, so that's where we're at. And I'm just thinking, like, I'm just so tired of this, of everything escalating beyond what you thought it was going to get to. Like, you just try to think of your worst nightmare, or just how bad. It's like, oh, everyone will be sad. And it's like, oh, no, everybody's going to, like, start stealing from everything. And then it's just going to collapse everything. And then everybody is going to feel like they did something good. It's like, oh my gosh, wow. Like, I'm so tired of being like taken aback by the plan. Like, I am just done. I'm really just done. And I'm just like, I'm not raising my kids here. I'm not raising my kids in this world. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. It's just too stupid. It's ridiculous. I'm not going to, like, there's no future. So what is the point of me? Why would I want my kids to blend in and be normal here? They're like, no, I am not falling for any of that. It's all stupid. Get out of my face. So anyways, so I'm just thinking about that. And I'm just thinking about just extreme measures and all of these weird things of like, can we live in a cave? Like, how is it warm there? And I'm thinking all this stuff. And then I came across another lady's video. There's another lady that kind of does videos like me. There's a couple of people on YouTube that I watch that a handful of people that just do videos at home of their little, modest thing. And she was just talking about how, God was telling her that there was going to be a movement, of believers, many, believers coming into the kingdom. I'm assuming, it was something about like, I guess it's the last days. Let's just say it's the last days. So, a lot of people coming in and they're not going to be, they're going to be very, I don't know. The impression that I got was that they were going to be doing the miracles of God, and that they were going to be radical, but it would be because, I don't know if it was because of, but they weren't going to be like churched people. They were going to be people who just read their Bible and do what was in it and follow God and listen to God. And, because everything in church is basically like pre-chewed, secondhand. You're getting there's a middle person in between the information and you. And many people like that, or many people may not even know that there's that what the difference between doing that and just simply reading the word and getting your information from that source. And I don't know, the way that she was describing it just made me realize, like, yeah, yeah, that's what we need. That's what you need to do. If you're a Christian, if it's 2023 and you become a Christian, first of all, become a Christian in your house. Like, or you know what? Become a Christian however you become a Christian. Maybe you watched a video, maybe you were at church, maybe you did an altar call, the standard stuff. But listen, go home and read your Bible and ask God in the moment. Like, talk to God and ask him what about everything, and ask him to teach you. Just go home and read your Bible. You know how to read, don't you? There's nothing in there. Yes, it's something that can be studied at uh, a very high level. Yes, there's seminary. Yes, there's theology. Yes, you can have a PhD doctorate in this stuff, but nothing in there is above your whatever. Like, just read the Bible and get all of your revelation from that. Ask God right there, what does this mean? And just realize, expect him to answer. Just expect him to answer you. And the only reason why we don't do that is because we come from a long, long, long tradition of tradition. And that worked in the 1800s, and it worked in the 1870s, and it worked in the 1920s. It worked then. It's not just, don't just forget everything. Like, I'm pretty sure, I don't want to tell you not to go to church, but here's the thing. The Spirit did all that in the beginning anyways. We don't need to force this, and that's not even the point. The point is, just read the Bible and talk to God. Like, because there's nothing that we are doing as a church. Like, people say, find a good church, find a good church, find a good church. Listen, even if you found a good church, we're not prepared. There's nothing we can do that we can prepare you from 2023 onward. We got nothing. We got nothing. You have to get in that word, and you need to be able to audibly hear the voice of God. Maybe he talks to you in a dream. Maybe you just get like an impression. Maybe you look and you see something and you go, that's not a coincidence. However God talks to you, you need to find the medium through which God talks to you, and you need to hold on to that man for dear life, because the world that is being created hasty pasty like is not something we can. Your brain is not us giving you a firm foundation of what they got. Squirrel porn or something. Like when you can say, okay, this is my foundations book. God came to the earth and as a man in the flesh, and the spirit of blah blah blah, and then you go and watch a woman have sex with 12 squirrels because the devil is out here. He's out here, and you are a spirit. Like, just read the Bible and literally hold on to God like a blind person, like not even the blind guy with the stick. I'm talking about like you have like ropes set up in your house from room to room, and you just get up and you just walk, and you know your kitchen is to the right. Just that's how you need to be walking in this world right now, because we got nothing for you. The fact that you got little kids, basically, you can just, anytime you have a kid saying, I'm trans, just assume the child has watched some porn, because that's what that means. But they can't tell you, I'm watching pornography, I'm watching weird stuff, because the devil now has them trapped. So he has them trapped in this like upside down place where everything is dark and demonic, because they're in a place of silence. They were a child that was innocent, and now they have done something. They didn't realize it was a trap of any kind, because everybody's just talking about it like it's just fine, because everybody's talking about pornography like it's pornography that was around in 2009. So they go, oh, I've done something to myself, but they can't. But then they would have to get help. They would have to tell somebody what they've done, which they're not going to do, because they don't know anything about, hey, repentance and sin, and this is what it does to you, and to the flesh, and all of these concepts that would have helped them. So they're just like, oh, maybe this is who I am. This is like, because they feel it very strongly, because it's a demon living in their house. No, they don't have a paradigm for it. And it's like this thing where now they belong to the dark. And so it's like when you say I'm trans, it's like, that's a lie. The truth is, I'm a child, and I was exposed to something that was perverse, and something was allowed to enter me because I gave it lawful entry. I said, yes, I'm going to entertain this. And it's going, and all of this stuff about authority and how the devil is allowed to do stuff, because when you say, yes, please do it, I'm going to click enter, I'm going to click accept, I'm not going to read the terms and conditions. Now he's able to do stuff. No, people don't know that. Most Christians don't even know that. So you're just allowing things in your life. Things are attaching to you. And it used to be, oh, you had to sleep with a person. You had to literally go to a place and pay money and be sweaty and like have an outward experience with a person in order to make something. Now you could just be at your house, and now you can be at now it's portable and you can carry it around. So now you don't even have to be in your house. It's like the escalation is so tiring and exhausting to me. Like, it's like, I don't even want to tell you. Like, I'm just thinking extreme thoughts right now of like how to survive in this world with children. It's like, why do I have children right now? Like, this is just like torture to have to sit and watch and just be on your guard. Like, not like, hey, don't leave the house, or like, it's in your house. So you're not even safe in your house. Like, so it's just like, I'm literally like, I'm ready to go. But I was also like, but you know what? After I watched that video, I was like, you know what? Even if we stay for 20 more years or however many, it's like, there will be some believers, and they're probably going to be like, they might even be like one of the top crops of believers that ever happened, because the church age is just us in a building together. You're not going to tell any of these people what you're dealing with. And if you're going to one of the churches that's teaching you the foundations, okay, here's the basics. That church is already scared of, that church is not, They're not expecting you to be able to lay on hands as soon as you get saved, like they did in the Bible. They're not. They're like, okay, here's your little booklet of, you know, well, here's what you read, and here's how. It's like, bro, we need people that, like, people are gonna start manifesting as soon as they ask Jesus to come into their lives, because people are so full up with demons from, because the demons are at your school and they're teaching the kids, like the absurd, like, it's not even absurdity at this point, because you can't say that it's absurd, because you would, that to say that is to say that there is a standard, and this is going again. Forget all that. It's a free for all. It's a free for all. And you're still at your building, your church building, doing what? Like asking people if they want to become a member. Like, people are becoming trans. That is a demon inside of your body, making you feel like you need to be the other gender. Why is it happening? And your entire society is facilitating demonic possession. Like, that's your world. It's not absurd. That's normal. You're absurd now. You're absurd. So, what I don't need is to go to a church and have them be like, that's out there. Like, go away. And, let the Lord's church rise up, which is going to be people literally reading the Bible and going, okay, what is that, Lord? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does it mean? And literally looking up at the sky, waiting for him to give you the answer, and not anyone else. We don't need to get on the forum. We don't need to, just don't even open the phone. Don't even open the phone. Like, I'm just like, the church situation in its current state. It's like, and I'm not saying like we all need to change and we need to overhaul. We're the dinosaurs. We're gonna either get raptured, or we've got our thing is built in. We did it. Our thing is done. We grew up how we grew up. I'm 40 years old. I'm out of the game. What y'all need to be doing, these new people, and you can be 56 years old and be a baby Christian. These new babies coming in, sit down with your Bible, read it. Read it and ask God. Like, read it and ask God. And that's how you need to be getting your theology. And have Jesus literally teach you. Pray that Jesus appears in your dream, takes you to a dream state, a vision state, and teaches you it all. Because just say, listen, I don't know who to trust out here. I need you to teach me personally. And that's where everyone's faith level needs to be. It's not at this point. It's not even faith level. This is like the Lord has a way of, like, when the world gets weird like that, He is going to come and give you a grace that other people might not have. It's like, it's like when the black people in America were slaves and they couldn't go out and be free. It was like the Lord just moved and caused miracles. They won't let you read. Okay, well, you're going to be able to read the Bible. You're just going to be able to comprehend it and understand it and see and whatever. It's like He has a way of raising the river depending on what's going on. So there's some stuff going on. He's going to need to come to you in person, like, and teach you. Like, don't listen to anybody. Like, don't listen to anybody with gray hair, dude. Like, I don't. part of me wants to like apologize for the current state of the world, but it's just like these seeds are planted so early. Let's blame it on the boomers. They did it. The boomers did it. But this, it's just was going to happen. But like, don't just stop looking to people, because the devil, yeah, the devil's sending people to you, but he's you need to catch up with all of the different ways that he has of getting a hold of you. You need to be able to get a hold of God as easy as you can get a hold of the devil around here. So you need to start thinking about, stop worrying about how silly things are, because that's in a sane world that would exist, but this is not that. So just go crazy. Like, that's how you need to endure, is just go crazy. Like, if you need permission, you have my permission to literally do any and everything. Just hold on to that Bible and just be like, no, I like, you need to both have a capacity for the supernatural, but also have like these blinders on of like, I don't trust anybody but God. Are you from God? Okay, fine. What's Let me like come up with a password with you and God, and the person doesn't say the password, they're not from God. Like, you need to be that strict and protective about what comes into your space, but also have the just think that any and every miraculous supernatural thing is possible and will happen, because that's where we are and that's where we need to be. Anything less than that will not defeat what is coming, what is here. uh us in our small groups is just not doing it. It's just not gonna do it. So y'all be blessed. I hopefully am getting out of here because my 90s brain cannot stretch any further. Like, and that's saying something, because it's not like we had a squeaky clean whatever. Like, I grew up in the era of gangster rap, and I'm feeling like the wonder years out here, just thinking I like Laura Ingalls Wilder, like I'm Little House on the Prairie feeling, because this is just, it's bizarre. It's bizarre where it's going. It's not it's not society. It's not the things that are happening have nothing to do with maintaining a society. So I don't know what what's they're planning to do, but it's not keep society going. It's definitely not that. AI and trans kids is not going to keep society going. No one's going to go to work. No one's going no one is going to work. So I don't know what y'all are going to do, but I'm basically in heaven. Like, that's how I just have peace, is just think about heaven and what I'm going to do there, and preparing like what I'm going to do when I see God with Jesus. Like, and then there's like some other stuff. I got to pick up coffee today, and then it's right back to it, because this right here is just, I refuse to participate. I can't sit here and listen to this news of just, that looks like bad high school theater. I can't watch anything. Everything is stupid. And uh, yeah, I have no cool place to end this. So that's it.